Yo, what's going on, y'all? You're back. I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Paco, and you're listening to Occupy the Media. Okay, so before the break, we played that clip from WashingtonPost.com talking about Ron Paul and how he's embarrassing Mitt Romney over in Massachusetts with the delegates. We're picking up more delegates. They love to say that we're just trying to change the platform. Earlier in the show, first segment, I played the clips from local coverage out in Sacramento and out over here in UC Davis. And all of them have to mention that Ron Paul can't win, that he has no chance of winning the nomination. What's your goal for, for the race? I mean, it's just constantly trying to push him out, trying to keep that perception going, even though you got a bunch of people in the background screaming his name. And it's hard for the media to do that because the average person at home got to be wondering what in the world is going on. You know, when I talk to people and I tell them Ron Paul's still in the race, Ron Paul's winning tons of delegates, we got the momentum, he's the real front runner, people can't believe it because they think that it's done with and that Ron Paul's already dropped out. And so the media has a lot of explaining to do, Okay, so we got this one clip we're going to go in and play next. This is out in Las Vegas, local news coverage, talking about the RNC and, telling basically the Nevada GOP that there better not be no Ron Paul supporters or y'all ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let's get this clip set up for you guys.
Cents gets you our famous crunchy chicken taco loaded with taste.
Sorry about that.
Roberto's 24-hour taco shop.
You like?
I like.
Paramedics.
A warning shot to the Nevada Republican Party. Don't mess with the delegates or risk losing seats at the National Convention.
That word from the Republican National Committee as Ron Paul supporters are expected to dominate the Nevada Republican Convention this Saturday. Fox 5's Matt DeLucia filed this report earlier tonight.
Anywhere he goes, Ron Paul draws a dominant crowd. Despite being far behind in the delegate count, his supporters intend to make a strong presence at the state convention this Saturday.
I expect, if not half, more.
Carl Bunce is the chairman of Nevada for Ron Paul. On Wednesday, a two-page letter from the RNC addressed to Nevada GOP chairman Michael McDonald explains that any attempt to unbind the state's delegates would jeopardize the seating of Nevada's entire delegation to the national convention. The letter further urges state leaders to ensure candidate loyalty.
You can't just change the rules, seventh inning of the baseball game, and say, okay, now we're going to have the presidential campaign come in and prove and certify every delegate.
It has been suspected that Ron Paul supporters may try to flood the delegate count. And instead of 20 delegates going to Mitt Romney, Paul's people would pledge support and then change their vote at the last minute.
This is not going to help the party either nationally or locally at all.
Political analyst Dan Hart argues it paints a picture of disorganization for Republicans.
Clearly, the Republican National Committee wants some certainty about the number of delegates that are coming out of Nevada and who they're voting for. Ron Paul's supporters, on the other hand, want to disrupt the status quo, and that's where the fight is.
But Bunce contends it is not about disruption or a takeover.
We're participating in the process. At no point are we taking over anything. If more delegates that happen to support a certain candidate show up at a convention, they set the tempo of the convention.
The state GOP did not return our call for comment tonight as their members are traveling to Sparks for the convention. Nevada has a total of 28 delegates going to the national convention in August.
Why don't you guys come on the news and beg your Mitt Romney supporters to come out and be delegates? Why isn't there more of that? Why isn't the RNC, the Republican Party, trying to get people out there? Why aren't they promoting these conventions? Ask yourself that. Because they don't usually have that many people there. And besides, Mitt Romney doesn't have real support. Remember, they're trying to just go off of the votes because they know it's not real. The support out there isn't real. It doesn't match the votes. And people are going to realize that more and more as Mitt Romney goes around the country and has no supporters. I just played a clip yesterday from Virginia. I'm going to try to put it up on my YouTube page today. Local news in Virginia. Mitt Romney. Barely any seats. All the seats that are there not even filled. I mean, this is a joke, man. He has no support. He probably has less support than every Republican candidate that was running. I say maybe except Newt Gingrich. I say maybe Newt is probably the only one. I mean, like I said, people that voted, if they did in fact vote for Mitt Romney, it doesn't mean that they're a supporter of Mitt Romney. There's probably a lot of people that went and voted and only voted for Mitt Romney because the media told them he was the only chance to beat Obama. Okay, but they ain't waving no signs. They ain't putting up no signs. They ain't coming out, showing up, none of that. They want these conventions just to be little celebrations and little get-togethers for the establishment where they pick each other and, you know, any, money, mo, whatever, and get them to go to the convention. But it ain't like that. We're disrupting it. We're causing a problem because we're going to take the party. I'm tired of them saying that Ron Paul delegates are planning to take it over. How are we going to plan to take it over? You know, we're not the ones running the show. Anybody can come. Anybody can show up. Anybody that's part of the Republican Party. And if Ron Paul is just 10%, like you guys always say, or a small fraction, then why isn't there way more people, you know, representing the other candidates, representing Mitt Romney? Where are they at? It goes to show that Ron Paul supporters are the majority in the Republican Party. We're the only ones keeping the Republican Party alive. I mean, I want you to think if Ron Paul wasn't in the race, how boring, how dead and dull this race would have been. I mean, think about it. They would have figured out Mitt Romney the nominee after New Hampshire. Everybody probably would have dropped out after New Hampshire. I mean, it's a joke. It's a straight joke. Ron Paul is the only thing that's been given life at all to the Republican Party, if you want to call it that. But they want to get rid of us because they want it to stay to a few. They don't want the party to get big. It's kind of like churches. You know, there's some, if you go to certain churches that's stuck in their ways, they've been doing things for a long time a certain way. You know, there's small churches out there. They don't like big churches. They don't like more people coming. They don't like new people coming. I know firsthand experience. So it's kind of like that. They want to stay stuck in their ways, doing it the way it's been done, keep people in office for, you know, chairmen for how many years on out. Nothing changes, nothing gets done, and then they get mad because we don't want to jump on board with them to beat Obama. Because we're not stupid. Mitt Romney can't beat Obama. It's impossible. So we just got to keep pushing and getting the word out there and letting them know. And this is awesome because the more we keep coming hard, the more ridiculous they're going to look. And the more they're going to have to expose themselves. You know, they're not going to be able to win this election without doing a lot more fraud and a lot more shenanigans than what we've already seen. Matter of fact, a new reality check is out from Ben Swan. You guys check that out on YouTube. If we have time, maybe we'll play that later in the show or later on today. Don't forget that I am on Ron Paul Radio, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time and 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. So you guys check me out. Let's see what else is going on. I think after the break, we're going to go ahead and jump into this article. Loud, obnoxious, and uninformed, talking about Ron Paul supporters. Let's see. Matter of fact, we might be able to play that. Well, no, we got a couple minutes. I was going to play that Ron Paul talking about computer surveillance back in 1984. But we'll play that either after the next break or next hour. Don't forget that we got candidates, Ron Paul candidates, running for office here in the Los Angeles area. Warman for Congress, as WORMAN, warmanforcongress.com. You check her out. Matter of fact, I think there's a money bomb going on for her on the 8th, if I'm not mistaken, May 8th. So, again, that's warmanforcongress.com. She's in the Los Angeles area. ChristopherDavid2012.com. He's in the coastal to Malibu area. ChristopherDavid2012.com. Rick Williams is running for Senate in California. That's RickWilliamsForSenate.com, RickWilliamsForSenate.com, and GreenForCongress.com. He's actually in Missouri. We had him on the show. Great interview. So that's Green with the E at the end, GreenForCongress.com. You guys check them out. Support them. Donate. Don't forget RonPaul2012.com if you can. We definitely got to keep the money flowing in so we can keep Ron Paul on tour. And if you guys didn't hear me yesterday, Ron Paul did come to LA Liberty headquarters, actually, the day before yesterday. So amazing how you can just chill and kick it with your supporters. No Secret Service or nothing. That's realer than these rappers out here. Anyways, I'm Paco, your host. We'll be back. You're listening to Occupy the Media.